Oh, such a bright-looking class here tonight. Oh, excuse me, but I was just about to reread the account of my funeral when I mislaid my glasses. I do that all the time. They might be somewhere about here. Has anyone seen them? Could you tell me where they perhaps may be? Have you seen them? Pardon? Where are you pointing, young lady? My head? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. I beg your pardon, but once you're dead, your memory just goes, you know. Now, it says here in this newspaper account, school children today lined the streets of Elizabeth City for the funeral procession of Samuel Lloyd Sheep, whose tireless work provided them all with a free public school education. Well, how about that? His portrait has been unveiled and shall henceforth hang in the school to be known now as the S.L. Sheep School. How many of you here may have attended that S.L. Sheep School named for me just 2 blocks over on Road Street? Raise your hands now. Raise them high, please, so I can see them all. Yes, that's very good. Oh, wonderful. Lovely. Yes. Generations of people in this area have gone through that school down there, but I had nothing to do with that actual school. That school was dedicated and built in 1940, 12 years after my demise. And today it shares the name of one of my best pupils, Miss Hattie Harney, who lived just across the street, and when she grew up became a wonderful school teacher and principal in her own regard. I also had the honor of teaching Miss Mary Owens, who has visited us here tonight in a group such as yours. She's still alive today in Elizabeth City and taught many classes of Latin and civics. Perhaps to some of you, any of you here? Ah, there's one in the crowd, 2, 3, oh, 4. I see, very good. That's right. Good. I also, long time back, was privileged to teach one J.C.B. Eringhouse, who, after my death, went on to become the governor of North Carolina and led this state through the Great Depression. Back in my time, things were very difficult. I had to take a horse and buggy to ride about the Albemarle in order to visit farms individually and entreat them to send their children to me for a good formal education, to release their sons from a dismal existence behind the mule and plow, and to come to town, to boarding school, because we could not arrange to transport them back and forth in those days. We had room and board provided. I always kept young ladies here in the upper rooms of the house or with other families around the town, and built a building for 10 boy students just next door to us here. There was no library here in town when I arrived in 1875. Coming from Watsontown, Pennsylvania, my hometown, I was just a lad of 19. But before long, I dreamed of erecting a public library and finally accomplished that. Also, I helped a board of directors establish the First Presbyterian Church, which still stands just 2 doors down from us here. We had many peaceful hours as a family here with my wife Pauline and 6 children. We would frequently spend nights listening to the wind-up Victrola. I was especially fond of hymns and John Philip Sousa marches. Yes, John Philip Sousa is a wonderful composer. Don't you agree, ma'am? Wouldn't you agree?
I like Beethoven better.
Well, Beethoven too, of course, but Beethoven was not American. Yes. In my day, running my private schools, I had a policy of keeping all the young gentlemen students separated from the young lady students. At all times, we would keep the young boys separated from the young girls. Separate classrooms and class times, separate meal times, and of course, separate lodgings. I cannot imagine the chaos that must reign in your public schools today when you mingle boys and girls together in the same classrooms. In my day, too, we also believed in giving tender hugs and violent spankings if necessary to enforce constructive discipline. And I gave plenty of my share of both, too, I must admit. Well, one night here after supper, I seemed ill and retired here to the living room and suffered an aneurysm and died on the spot on October 28th, 1928. Yes, it was just 2 days ago tonight that was the anniversary of my death. But before I go, I should tell you that I had a rich life filled with community service, and I should implore all of you to do the same, for it's the quickest route to happiness that I know. And now, please, young man, stand tall and keep your back straight. Very good. Good night now.